Good morning, welcome to Headline Focus here live on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. It is Thursday the 23rd of November 2017. Let's have a look at what's making the news. So there is only one thing covering these papers today, and as you can see, quite rightly, is what happened in the budget yesterday. Let's just go through the points of this. It's going to be pretty budget heavy today. So let's start with the Times newspaper. Hammond eases off austerity. Now, it's long been Conservative Party policy in terms of the economy to cut the deficit, to get debt down, national debt down, and to pay off the excess expenditure of the Labour years. That was the key line coming up, particularly of the 2010-2015 election campaigns. But let's look at what Phillip Hammond offered yesterday. So we've got highlights for scrapping stamp duty for first-time buyers, £2.8 billion cash for the NHS, a national living wage for workers over 25 to rise to £7.83 next April, which is almost a 5% rise. And this means that the deficit is now not due to be eliminated until 2031. Now remember, George Osborne made the promise that by 2015 the deficit would be wiped out. 2015, 2031, this is a case of decades, but the key issue is politically people have had enough of austerity or had enough of cutting, and therefore the Conservatives are following the public mood. Let's just look at more of the stories. Brexit War Chest, as you can see in the Express, highlights what it describes as a budget day surprise of £3 billion dedicated by the Chancellor to Brexit, dealing with everything to do with Brexit. Departments within the government will be able to apply for funds from this £3 billion pot. Money particularly being earmarked for spending on tighter border controls and other measures after the UK leaves the EU, so all the sort of mechanisms we're going to need when we've left the EU. Looking in focus, though, at a few of the key points. Now, we just mentioned housing earlier on. This housing move to kickstart the housing market, as the Telegraph you can see here, helping hand for first-time buyers. This is a real pillar of this budget, so if you're going to remember anything, remember probably this point. The second element of it, though, is the dismal growth forecast. So this is the bad element of the budget the Conservatives will obviously want to play down, and the Labour Party are playing up. Forecast wages will not return to the levels seen before 2007 financial crash until the middle of next decade. So still, wages are less than what they were in 2007 before the crash. And also, the UK economy is forecast to expand by an average of just 1.4% a year by 2022. So very, very limited growth in the economy as well. So quite dismal forecast figures, though, that, however, in the housing market, in the budget, seen as a real positive step and very popular step by the Chancellor. Let's have a look at the newspaper. Hammond's hard hat budget, again, playing off the house building pledge. Phillip Hammond offered an optimistic vision also for the budget, designed to appeal to the younger generation, key there with the house building first-time buyers. Also, if you remember the rail cards for 26 to 30-year-olds, that's now been implemented. Again, younger generation sort of stuff. The ex-Remain campaigner, the eye is picking up, also tried to prove he can be trusted as a Brexit Chancellor, or rather the Brexit Chancellor, talking of the enormous opportunities ahead for Brexit. Now remember, Phillip Hammond hasn't always been particularly positive about talking up the opportunities of Brexit, particularly in terms of the economy in recent past, earning him a bit of a steely relationship with Theresa May, the Prime Minister. One more story then comes not from the budget, but just as important internationally. Butcher of Bosnia, this is former Bosnian Serb commander Ratko Mladic. He's been jailed for life for genocide and other atrocities, which he committed in the 1990s Bosnian War. As you can see here, it's just at the bottom of the Guardian newspaper. He was known as the Butcher of Bosnia, largely due to the massacres that took place under his command. The UN tribunal in The Hague convicted him of 10 of the 11 charges he received. He didn't take it particularly well. He actually had to get removed from court owing to shouting at the judges. He will, however, spend the rest of his life in jail. That's pretty much it for today. You're up to date. Don't forget you can find all the latest on what we're doing here on Core Politics on our Facebook page and Twitter. We also have some brand new Inside Europe's coming out today. We got a really interesting one yesterday regarding the German coalition's talks. Check out that if you're interested in finding out what actually went wrong this week in terms of those. But from me and all the team here at Core London, have a fantastic Thursday.